Hello, friends. It is I, that one. It has been quite a while, and, well, as I always say, I apologize. I'm sure that you have read the title of the video, though I'm also sure there are those among you who would click on one of my videos without even reading the title, just for more of the that one, indeed. Now, today, as you are likely already aware of, I'm going to be eating the Campbell's Chunky Potato and Bacon Chowder. Is that not appetizing? If not, then I don't know what is. I have prepared it precisely how the instructions instruct, as it were. For the stovetop, of course. I am not a degenerate that microwaves soup. Unless, of course, it is already out of the can. Now, those instructions are, if I remember correctly, heat and serve. Complex indeed. Now, it may still be quite hot, and unfortunately, not very peppery. I intend to change this, though. I will take one bite before disturbing the purity of the substance, I suppose. Good texture on the potato. Soft, sure, quite soft in fact, but not so much as to spoil it. The chowder itself is your typical chowder, of course, quite creamy in substance, and the flavor is quite good as well. It certainly tastes like a chowder, I'll leave it at that. And I believe I got some bacon in this spoonful as well. Mm. Now that is something I did not expect. The texture of the bacon has survived the souping process, and in fact the flavor has as well. Now it's not quite as flavorful as unchowdered bacon. However, I think that may be more benefit to the chowder rather than a bad thing for the bacon, because the flavor has to go somewhere, does it not? But now, as I have done my due, I'm going to go get some black pepper. It is, admittedly, rather good already. However, as they say, everything is better with pepper. Now, I tend to keep a very large amount of pepper. Keep is a strange word to use. I put, rather, a large amount of pepper on my chowders and soups and stews as well, mostly any kind of broth. Now, this particular... Hold on, I don't want to annoy you with the noise of the grinder. Now, this grinder is special in that it has a light in it for some reason. Indeed, I thought that was quite strange. However, I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. After all, why would it be? I can't think of a reason, surely. Though I haven't bothered to try to think of a reason. I'll stir in the pepper now. I put a little bit of salt in as well, but nothing so as to noticeably salt the flavor irreparably. As I said, I do like to put quite a lot of pepper in my chowders and soups and stews. I am certain that I am forgetting a third kind of liquid in a bowl that you might eat hot. However, never mind. I was about to say oatmeal, but generally you do not have that quite so liquid. Yes, I believe that's sufficiently mixed. Now back in for more. I'm not sure why I didn't put this into a bowl. However, this pot that I cooked it in does indeed work just as well as predictable. Happy October, by the way. You can rest assured my Halloween costume is going to be a rubber animal mask. Ha 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 ha. For those of you that get that reference. Rest assured that I indeed do have a grip, despite what my profile picture may suggest. A grip on what, however, I am not sure, certainly not reality. Perhaps this spoon. I believe that there is indeed a spoon here, though. I didn't much care for the Matrix. At least not the third one, nor the second one, really. It would have been better as a standalone, I believe. You could reasonably condense an entire story into the span of one Matrix movie. I don't know why Neo had powers outside of the Matrix. Why could he stop that one machine that was going to kill him? Unsolved mysteries. That is the event on which the entire theory that the real world is just the second level of the Matrix comes from, and I think I certainly would have noticed that if I was the chosen one. Oh, my powers work outside of the computer simulation. That would be like if I did one of those things in the first person shooter where you pull a gun out of nowhere somehow. Where does it come from? Maybe I could do one of those reload glitches where I have my invisibility watch out and I want to reload my gun, so I just generate another arm. Wouldn't that be nice? Though then again, I suppose way back in 1990, whenever when The Matrix came out, video games weren't quite so widespread, especially not first-person shooters. I doubt even Half-Life was out by the time that The Matrix was. I was riding the city bus, and I saw an ad for a free Bible if only I called a certain number, and I did, and I provided my home address, which shall not be divulged to any of you, by the way. It has been 2 weeks. It still has not arrived. I'd hate to get impatient, but, you know, come on, where's the Bible? Of course, I could go to Bible.com, read any edition of the Bible almost. But it isn't the same, you know? It's just not the same. I'm sure it will come eventually. However, the date is entirely unknown to me. What has been in the news as of late that I can discuss to pad out this video's runtime? Oh, yes, of course. Ha 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 ha. It has been Native Day, Orange Shirt Day is what they call it. Yesterday, I think. Hmm. I do not own a single orange object. I don't know why, and I only realized this year. There is not a single object that I own that is the color orange. You might think that I do because of my propensity for the comic book character Garfield. However, my Garfield t-shirt is not orange. The background is a light blue, and scratch that, I was thinking of something else. The background is a white t-shirt, and it is a misprint, I believe, because Garfield himself is printed in a tealish color rather than his traditional orange. It is, however, still a quality shirt. I wear it sometimes, occasionally, on 3 or 4 occasions, if that. I don't have it with me, however. Something that I have found recently is that people will buy almost anything if they have bought it before. This is evidenced by Skyrim being released for, what is it now, the umpteenth time? N to the power of 7? Unknown to me, I haven't counted them. I do not have much of a life, but I have more of a life than the kind of person who would count the amount of times that Skyrim has been released. My chowder is cooling. I do not want that. I do not want to stoop to the level of microwaving it. It does not seem that the steam is appearing on the screen. What is that rhyming? I was about to say reverse alliteration, but reverse alliteration really is just referred to as rhyming, is it not? The texture of the chowder really is quite high in quality. Overall, I would recommend this. If you are a fan of chowder, this is a very chowdery chowder, being rather potatoey on top of the potatoes that are inherent in any chowder. I assume that is the fact that they decided to elaborate upon the phrase chowder by simply adding potato and bacon. This is not a bacon and potato chowder. This is very much a potato and bacon chowder, at least in terms of quantity. And quality as well. I'd say the potato is better than the bacon in terms of this. What do you call a man who lies on the ground in front of doorways? Matt. Haha. I'm going to end the video now. Farewell.